Hi, I'm Christine with Torrance Citi Cable, and welcome to my backyard. With so many wildfires burning in California this year, I wanted to check in with the Torrance Fire Department and see how we can prevent future fires.
It's all about preparation. So, are you prepared?
Fire Prevention Officer ELLERY Sanders says fire season in California is nearly year-round, starting just before summer and ending close to winter. Here are 5 tips to keep in mind during fire season. Tip 1. Keep trees green. So how does my backyard look?
It looks amazing. So as we see here, for an example, this is a perfect example for a well-watered tree. It's trimmed. There's no low-hanging branches. This is a perfect example of how your tree should look.
Okay, and then you said if we walk over a little bit.
Yes, here's another example of a tree that looks like it's on the verge of not being well watered, right? It looks like that it's going to be dry, so we need to specifically look at this tree a little bit closer than the one behind me.
Tip 2, do a perimeter check.
Walking around your home just shows that if you have any dry brush, any dry grass, that would be the perfect time to cut that down or even water. If you have roof shingles, which are quite outdated, then you want to make sure that those are replaced with non-combustible roofing tiles.
Tip 3, cover your vents.
Small embers can actually make their way within those open spaces of the vents, and a fire could start from within your home.
Tip 4, get a fire extinguisher.
There's multiple places where you can store a fire extinguisher. One is in your garage, and another location would be in your kitchen area.
And tip 5, have an evacuation plan.
And while you're evacuating, you have to keep in mind while you're evacuating, who's coming, who's returning, who's responding to the home. So you have a lot of resources, a lot of first responders that's actually responding to your home. So you don't want to be directly outside of your front door while first responders is responding. So it's good to actually walk away, at least 100 feet away from your home.
Sanders says the Torrance Fire Department has had a busier than usual year so far.
We've been participating in multiple campaign fires that has been up north, so we send a few strike teams within the last month, and as long as these campaigns continue, we will still send a lot of our firefighters up north, as well as still responding to a high call volume of 911 calls here in the city of Torrance.
He hopes Torrance residents will help out by staying alert and doing their part to be fire smart.
What's up, guys? Leslie Robbins here. The coronavirus pandemic has rocked the world and, of course, has hit close to home for so many in various ways. But for one Torrance middle schooler, a rising softball star, she has found a way to persevere and hit a home run. Izzy Kakatian. Here we are at Wilson Park, your home away from home. We are about 6 feet apart. We are masked up. COVID has changed the rules completely. What was life like before COVID hit? As a softball player, as a middle schooler, and now here we are in strange times.
Yeah, these are very unprecedented times, but before all this happened, we were just back-to-back practicing, always nonstop. School was, we were at our school, right? And it was just face-to-face teaching. But now it's harder.
Talk about the practice first and foremost.
So the practices, they're 5 hours, and they were always constantly, back-to-back drills and scrimmaging. Now they have to slow it down a little bit, make sure that everything's disinfected, everybody's 6 feet apart, mask on.
The good news about the parks, you can show up with people in your household to do one-on-one stuff. So
Right.
You and your father actually come here often to do that.
We just make sure that we get enough work so I'm good, because we do it every day to make sure that I'm always staying on top of everything. And they're usually like maybe 1 to 2 hours.
Talk about your softball career. You're only 13 years old. You have a very, very long softball career. Start from the beginning. Take me to where you are now. And you just played in the World Series Stadium with your latest tournament.
Well, I started T-ball, and it was called Sansei. And then my team was called Keikis. Then we went to Torrance Girls Softball League. Now I'm in the travel ball world, and I currently play for USA Athletics. And just about 2 weeks ago, we just got back from Oklahoma City, and I played in a tournament called the USA All-American, and girls from around the country were chosen to be on a certain team, and I represented Region 10 Blue for California.
COVID sadly changed everything and all of the rules. Normally you would have to try out for a tournament like this, but
Correct.
oh no, not this year. How did you actually get on this team? I love this story actually.
My coach, he actually got a call from the head organization called USA Softball, and he said that I was chosen to be on the USA All-American team, and I was referred to from travel ball coaches around California. It was an amazing experience.
Now talk about from getting picked to be on the team to then going, and the cool thing is you actually went to Oklahoma. During this pandemic, they actually organized this huge tournament. You guys flew on an airplane,
Yeah.
COVID rules applied. So talk about the steps getting to Oklahoma in the pandemic.
Yeah, we definitely needed to make sure that we followed all measures, staying 6 feet apart,
Right.
constantly using hand sanitizer, washing our hands, and wearing masks, obviously.
Yeah.
The plane flight was kind of hard, but we made sure that we kept our distance from people. And then when we went to Oklahoma, it was harder to keep distance with everybody, especially in a tournament where there's girls from all around the country.
Yeah.
But we just made sure that we were cautious about ourselves and our family.
At this year's All-American Games, you guys placed third, which is incredible. You have your bag here. The luggage tag is still on it. I'd love to find out what's in your bag. I always like to know what athletes have in their sports bags.
I have my catcher's gear.
Of course.
So I'm a utility player,
Yeah.
which is positions all around the
Right.
dirt, but I play catcher,
Right.
and I love it so much because, you know, the catchers take control of the field.
Are you a different person on the field?
Yes, on the field, I turn that switch on, you know, I'm beast mode on the field. And then when I'm off the field, I make sure that I always stay humble and just be sweet to everybody nice.
The NBA, WNBA, MLS, everybody has started their seasons in their own way. Even tennis has just started.
Yeah.
So break down how softball has kind of got their game back.
So at first it was very hard because fields were obviously closed because we have to make sure it's less than 10 for a gathering. And it started very slowly and then gradually got to the point where we're starting to get back into the swing of things.
So obviously with the pandemic going on, how are you staying in shape? How are you practicing?
Usually we practice at a place called On Deck, but since that's closed of restrictions right now, me and my dad, we stay in shape by just going in the backyard, hitting into a net with a few balls, and fielding, throwing, catching, everything like that. We also come to Wilson Park to practice here on the side. Just me and my dad, we just do all the stuff that we need to do.
Another thing you need to do consistently is your schoolwork. You are in 8th grade at Calle Mayor. How is virtual learning going for you?
It was very hard in the beginning because it's not as easy as face-to-face learning with my teachers, but now I'm getting the hang of it and it's getting easier now that I know what to do.
Now, as a student athlete, does it change your mindset at all?
Yeah, in the beginning I was very nervous, but now I have a planner for myself just to keep on track. So I would do school from about 8 to 2, and then I go practice in the backyard with my father. So I just make sure that I'm always keeping it organized every day.
What are the goals relating to softball? Varsity at South. What happens after that?
There are many possibilities coming up in the future for me, but one big dream that I would really like to achieve is becoming a pediatrician. And that's actually going to be really difficult with playing softball. And I would love, if I ever had the chance, I would love to play college softball. But the biggest goal that I'm trying to chase is becoming a pediatrician.
That's amazing. So Izzy, what advice would you give to other teenagers in your shoes, other student athletes who are maybe struggling to find a good balance with family, schoolwork, which is virtual, and they want to get their sport on, but they don't know how to do it? What advice would you pass on to them?
I would definitely say, because I know this pandemic and everything fitting into it may be very stressful at times, but I think just always find the light out of the tunnel and stay happy and just look on the bright side.
Hi, I'm Christine with Torrance Citi Cable, and we are out here at First Hair Studio. I actually got a haircut here just days before services moved outdoors. Today we are getting a haircut, my first haircut since the COVID quarantine. Here we are. There's a check-in table over there, and then we're going straight in. 아줌마 안녕하세요. 오랜만이에요. 아줌마 이거 다 쓰니까 이상하다. 2 years ago, I introduced you to my hairstylist, Jinhee Kim. She reopened her small business on June 1st after 2.5 months of being shut down due to COVID-19.
집에서 뭐 집안도 치우고 일 맨날 하면 정리 못했던 거 정리하고 또 손주들 베이비시팅도 한 3일 하고 바쁘게 있었어요.
Now that she's back, Jinhee says her new reality looks a lot different.
크리닝 같은 거 썼던 것도 썼을까봐 그거 많이 신경 쓰는 것 같아요. 6피트를 유지하려고 그러고 하나 해서 저쪽에 좀 멀리 떨어져 앉혀놓고 만약에 밀리면은 차에 갔다 오라 그러고.
하루 종일 이렇게 마스크 쓰고 일하는데 많이 불편하시죠?
불편한데 뭐 나만 불편한 거 아니니까 괜찮아요. 할만해요.
While I'm here for a haircut and a root touch-up, another customer is finishing up her perm. Isa says doing her hair is her form of self-care.
I think it gives you something to be excited about. I don't know, just to be happy about, just because everything's really gloomy right now.
How does it look?
I really like it. I've had bad experiences before where like it didn't turn out how I wanted it to, but this is actually how I wanted it, so I love it.
She's preparing to return home to Washington, D.C. after staying out here for a while.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back. Sometimes when you haven't seen your friends for a long time, like you're kind of nervous. You don't know if you gained weight or, you know, if you look different. So yeah, I'm excited now.
Bye! Jinhee cleans her space thoroughly after each customer, and I've never seen this place so empty. 요새 비즈니스가 코비드 전 비즈니스보다 어떻게 비교가 돼요?
비교가 되는 거는 옛날에는 손님을 밀리면서 약속을 물론 해고 해도 하나 발라놓고 하나 기다리게 해놓고 중간중간에 해고 그러는데 요즘은 될 수 있으면 그렇게 안 하려고 그러죠. 전화하면 물어봐요. 너네들 손님을 한꺼번에 많이 받지 않냐, 많이 안 받는다고 한꺼번에 받을까봐 물어보는 사람들이 거의 물어보더라고요.
This waiting area used to be filled with things to read, but now they're all gone.
매거진 치우고 뭐라도 다 치우고 커피도 다 치우고 no coffee. No water.
Regardless of any discomforts, Jinhee says she's thankful to be able to work during this time.
열 수 있는 게 좋아요. 그것도 좀 걱정은 되는데 그래도 열으니까 집에만 있으니까 너무 답답하고 손님들도 해달라는 사람은 많고 연락도 오고 그러는데 못했죠.
She's grateful for every customer that comes in and hopes they continue to take good care of themselves.
다들 건강하시고 조심하시라는 거 좀 너무 걱정스럽잖아요. 너무 많이 생기니까.
감사합니다. In Torrance, I'm Christine Lee, Kimbap TV. Since moving her services outside, Jinhee says she has seen a dip in business, and because she's the only person who's able to work, she's trying to line up as many customers as she can, one after the other. In Torrance, I'm Christine Lee for Torrance Citi Cable.